The next problem we are going to discuss about is how to determine the current using mesh analysis. As we all know, the mesh analysis is simpler for DC circuits, but for AC circuits it's somewhat difficult as we have impedance in the circuit. Kirchhoff's voltage law forms the basis of mesh analysis. The validity of KVL for AC circuits was shown in the section. Keep it in mind that very nature of using mesh analysis is that it is to be applied to planar circuits. Okay. Now let us get into the problem. Determining the current I0 in the circuit is the given problem. The given circuit is like this. Here we have three meshes. For the first mesh, the current is assumed as I1. Second mesh it is I2. Third mesh it is I3. In the third mesh we have a current source connected to the circuit. In the second mesh we have a voltage source connected. In the first mesh we don't have any sources connected to the circuit. Okay. What we are going to do is we'll take one by one. Let us apply KVL for the first mesh first, because first mesh don't have any sources, so the right side will be 0, the left side will be the total current. Okay. Now I'll add all the I1 currents flowing through the first mesh. We have one resistor of 8 ohm, second we have an impedance of J10 ohm, and that is actually an inductor, and a capacitor whose impedance is minus J2 ohm. We have to add all this and multiply it with I1. That is what is done here. Second part, I2 current is flowing through this capacitor, so we have to subtract that. So subtraction of minus J2 into I2. The I3 current is flowing through J10 inductor, so we have to subtract that. So minus J10 into I3 equal to 0. This is what is KVL for the first mesh. Second mesh, here we have a voltage source, so the voltage source will be added here. But the current direction is from plus to minus, so it should be minus on the right side. So minus 2090 is on right side. When it comes to the left side becomes plus 2090. And what are the currents flowing? I2 current is flowing through one capacitor, second capacitor and the resistor. So adding all these three and multiplying with I2 is the first. Second, this I1 is flowing through this minus J2 capacitor, so that has to be subtracted. Also I3 is flowing through minus J2 ohm capacitor, so that has to be subtracted. So that is subtracted, and that is the second equation for the given circuit. For third mesh, we don't want to work out, because for the third mesh the current flow direction is assumed to be clockwise, and the same direction the current source is also connected. So I3 will be equal to 5 amps. So that is what is given here. Substituting this I3 value in the second one and the first one, will get I2 and I1. That is what is found here. For that they have substituted I3 equal to 5 in the previous two equations. So we have got these two equations. Reshuffling, we will get terms in I1 and I2. What they are going to do is they are using Cramer's rule here. So what are the terms of I1 and I2? They are forming matrix into I1 I2 equal to the right side term. Okay. Finding the determinant of this matrix from the left matrix, the determinant del is equal to 68 here. And what they are going to do is finding del 2. Del 2 means replacing the second column with the right side terms. So replace these two terms here, we'll get this del 2. Finding the determinant for this matrix, we'll get 416.17 angle minus 35.22. Okay. For finding I2, what we need to do is I2 is equal to del 2 divided by del. Del 2 divided by del. So this divided by this, we will get 6.122 angle minus 35.22 degree amps. Okay. What is the desired current? They are asking us to find only I0 in the circuit. Which is I0 here? I0 is upward direction, but I2 is of clockwise direction. So it is opposite. So I0 is equal to minus I2. We have found I2. I0 is equal to minus I2, which is equal to 6.12 into 144.78 degree angle. If you know polar calculation, then we can easily find this answer. Okay. Thank you.